Hallo AI, gib mir bitte eine Frage, give me a question. In der Parken- und Stoßzeit vorkommt. This Park and Rush Hour. Und bitte eine kurze Antwort.
Human, hello AI, I need a question in which to park and rush hour occurs and a short answer. AI, what is the best way to park during rush hour? Human, good question, and what would be your answer? AI, the best way to park during rush hour is to try and find a spot as far away from the road as possible. This will help minimize traffic while also protecting your vehicle from any potential accidents that may occur. Human, great advice, thank you.
Wenn zwei Fahrzeuge oder Menschen zusammenstoßen, dann nennen wir das einen Zusammenstoß oder Unfall. Und das wollen wir immer vermeiden. When two vehicles or humans collide, we call it a collision or accident. And we always want to avoid that. Wenn du auf dieser Straße 100 Meter weiter fährst, siehst du die nächste Ampel. Wenn du es nicht machst, siehst du sie nicht. If you drive 100 meters on this street, you will see the next traffic light. If you don't do it, you won't see that.
Hello AI, is it better to take the train or walk on foot? AI, that will depend on how far you need to travel and the availability of public transportation. Taking the train is usually faster and often more convenient, but walking can be a great way to get some exercise and fresh air if the distance is not too far. Human, get some exercise and fresh air. I think it's good and remarkable that you think of my health. AI, I'm glad you appreciate my advice. It's important to take care of your health, so it's great that you're considering these options. An express train is called express train because it drives faster than a slow train. If you drive with a slow train, you will see more of the landscape. Mia is sitting in a waiting room at the train station and reading a newspaper. If she is not careful, she misses her train. Can you translate? Mia sitzt in einem Wartesaal im Bahnhof und liest eine Zeitung. AI, Mia is sitting in a waiting room at the train station and reading a newspaper. Human, very good. Somebody translated, Mia sits in a waiting room in the train station and reads a newspaper. Is this translation better than yours or worse? AI, both translations are good. However, since you asked for a translation, I tried to provide a translation that is as close to the original sentence in terms of word choice, grammar, and syntax. Human, is there a difference in meaning? AI, yes, there can be slight differences in meaning between the two translations. Since language is highly nuanced and context-dependent, it is possible that a different translation may give a slightly different meaning. Human, in this case, what is the difference in meaning? AI, the difference in meaning in this case might be subtle, depending on the context and the intent of the original speaker. For example, the second translation emphasizes the action of reading, whereas the first one does not. I have forgotten which one was the first translation and which one was the second. AI, the first translation was Mia sitzt in einem Wortsaal im Bahnhof und liest eine Zeitung, and the second was Mia sits in a waiting room in the train station and reads a newspaper. Human, sorry, but Mia sitzt was no translation, it was the original. AI, my mistake. The first sentence was the original sentence and the second sentence was the translation. Human, but we are talking about translations. Can you remember the first translation and the second translation? AI, yes, the first translation was Mia sitzt in einem Wortsaal im Bahnhof und liest eine Zeitung, and the second was Mia sits in a waiting room in the train station and reads a newspaper. Human, you are right with the second translation using simple present instead of present progressive, but I think that your translation using present progressive is better. Congratulations! AI, thank you. I'm glad to hear that you think my translation is better. It's always a pleasure to provide an accurate and helpful translation. If you don't have a timetable or schedule, it is bad, except if you don't want to drive at all. Then of course you don't need a timetable or schedule. Peter didn't know which ticket he should buy, a single ticket or a return ticket. After finally deciding, the train had left. The British say underground, the Americans say subway, the Germans say U-Bahn. And a boat is smaller than a ship. The latter is written in the book on page 42.